Backlinks is usually the biggest needle mover when it comes to driving rankings or things that drive rankings for e-commerce stores. And the reason why that's the case is that it's usually like most e-commerce stores that are in competitive niches. Like, and by the way, this example here that I'm bringing, silk pajamas, it's not even that competitive on the surface because there aren't that many competitors, but still, look at the numbers here. I'm just going to get straight into the point. So this is Ahrefs. And by the way, if you want to do this kind of calculations and if you want to understand, do you even need backlinks for e-commerce store and how many you need and which pages need them the most and how profitable it is, you really need access to either Ahrefs or SEMrush, or you need somebody like us to do the work for you. And by the way, you can request a free video audit of your e-commerce store where I go over, me or my team member goes over similar things. So you can just get the audit from the link in the description. Anyway, the point here is that if you are selling a product and if you have a dedicated category page for that product, so in this case, the keyword is silk pajamas for women. And in the United States, there's 4,800 people searching for this phrase every month. And this has been rather consistent with some seasonality in it, as you can see here. So 4,800 people every month searching for this particular phrase. And they're also typing different phrases to find the same thing. And all the top rankers here have dedicated, they're all e-commerce stores selling silk pajamas. So it's a given. If you are a store, it doesn't matter if you're selling pajamas, if you're selling gym equipment, pencils, or AirPods cases, doesn't matter. The point is that you need to, first of all, to even compete on Google, on AI, you need to have a collection page. But if you're probably on Shopify or WooCommerce, BigCommerce, you're going to have a category page anyway. So that's the first thing. Second thing is to have to optimize this page, but it isn't even that important. If you just put your basic information on the page about the product, this will already give you the essentials of optimization. Of course, you would be better if you have someone professional doing the optimization for you that knows about SEO, has all the tools. But usually the biggest needle mover, or the most important thing for you to rank higher on Google is backlinks. So once again, these are Google results. This page, everj.com, they are the top rankers. Now, let's say you are also competing here and your business is, let's say you are daisysilk.com. You are right now sitting in the 5th position on Google and you're getting 1,600 visitors a month, whereas the number one result is getting almost 12,000 visitors a month. So what to do here is we need to assess the difference in how many backlinks does the top result have versus how many backlinks do you have, and how much traffic the top ranker has versus how much traffic you are having. And if you are able to do this kind of calculation for different category pages, or even if you just have one category and you're always selling, I don't know, silk pajamas like this company here is, it's really important to do this calculation to first figure out, do you even need backlinks? Secondly, if you do need backlinks, how many do you need? And thirdly, is building those links even profitable? And then optional number 4 is if you have multiple products, multiple categories, multiple collections, building links to which one of those categories is the lowest hanging fruit, will give you the highest benefit. And this is where the SEO or the backlink ROI calculation comes in that we usually do for our clients. This is a given. This is one of the most important parts of SEO. Doing the analysis to figure out how many links do you need and which pages need links the most. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to walk you through this with this example. So you could hopefully do this for your own. And also, I'm using this ROI calculation sheet that you will have access to. I will leave it as the first link in the description. So let's get straight to it. So how this works is you could have multiple pages here, and each page represents one collection page or one landing page. So in this case, the top ranker, and they are the number one results. So let's say you want to rank this page higher. They are all the number one, but let's say you are Daisy Silk instead, and you want to rank your page above J. This is their page. Get 12% off. What a peculiar number. Okay. But anyway, so what you want to mark down here is a few specific things. How much extra traffic you would be generating if you were to rank number one compared to your current position. So this is quite easy to check from Ahrefs. You need Ahrefs or SEMrush again. So let's say currently you're getting 1,600 or almost 1,700, and the top ranker has 11,900. So the difference is 10,200. So you would get extra 10,200 visitors every month, which translates to over 100,000 extra visitors per year. Now, how much does the product cost? And what we can see here, the product costs $290, let's say $250, let's call it $250. And this gives us a visitor worth of $6.25. And where I get this number is, if you look at the calculation here, it's just calculating what's the average conversion rate for e-commerce stores. And where I get this number is we work with a lot of e-commerce stores recently. We know the numbers from our clients, but also if you just go to Google, Google tells you that the average e-commerce conversion rate generally sits around 2.5 to 3%. And ChatGPT tells us that the average for US focused is 2 to 5%. So let's just use 2.5 to be more conservative, which means that if you're selling products for $250, your average visitor worth to a collection page is $6.25. So this is an important number. And now what we need to figure out last is how many backlinks you need to build to get to number one. So if you're sitting right here, right now, And on Ahrefs and SEMrush as well, you don't have to look at the backlinks, you have to look at the domains, referring domains column. This is more important because Google mainly relies on one vote or one link per domain. So you need to look at, I'm not going to get into why. The main reason basically is that if you have a friend who also has a website or an e-commerce store, and then that friend gives you 100 backlinks, adds 100 backlinks to their site, they would push you higher, or they could even have 5,000. So competitor has a friend themselves, and you send 5,000 links from your friend, they send 6,000, and it would be too easy to manipulate. So to make it harder, Google has made it so that only one link from one domain counts. So you have to look at the difference in the amount of domains here. Just to keep it simple, let's compare your number to the top ranker. Top ranker has 23, you have 2, so the gap is 21, but you don't want to just match them, you also want to beat them, so just add 20%. So difference is 21, add 20%, so let's call it 25 links. So the difference was 21, and if you don't know how to calculate this by heart, so add 20%, just multiply it by 1.2. So now what we get is what's the total cost to outrank them, and again, this is just estimation, but this is the best guess estimation. And what's the extra income per year that you would be generating? And then what's the ROI? So in this case, it's definitely worth for the 5th ranking company to invest into backlinks because the extra income is just worth the total cost. And this is just annual income. Like if they were to rank number 1 and they just keep investing, they don't need to invest as much, but just to maintain those rankings, they're going to maintain those rankings for years usually. And the ROI is massive. But then again, there's also a lot of risk involved, but still the ROI is massive doing that. And then what I would recommend for you to do is to also go through the same numbers for all of your important category collection pages. So let's say that this company is also selling sleep masks. So right now they're selling silk pajamas, but let's say they're also selling sleep masks, but sleep masks are cheaper, so they're $100. Let's say that the extra traffic they're generating is like 5,000. Let's say only 500, and they need 5 links to rank here. So now you can compare, okay, I only need 5 links, which is less cost, and the ROI is 10 times less, but still maybe I want to start here because the investment is so much smaller. Or you can use another trick. When building backlinks, this is something we do for our clients. When building backlinks, whenever we build one link, we always try to link to your different category or collection pages. So we create one backlink, which costs around this much on average, $350. This is just a ballpark number. And into that one backlink or guest post, usually we add 2 links or 3 links. So we link to your silk pajamas page and we also link to your sleep masks page. Yeah, just a simple way to do it, a simple way to calculate. Again, it's definitely not an exact science. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of nuances. A lot of different factors, but I only wanted to talk about the most important ranking factor, which is backlinks, the most important ranking factor under your control. And yeah, this is how to calculate the potential ROI. Of course, you can adjust the numbers. If you know your conversion rate is much better than 2.5%, you can adjust this in the calculation. But yeah, I invite you to just use this. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below, or you can always email me as well. You can find my email from the description. Thank you. Take care.